Chinese airlines are not heading in a good direction. It's no secret that currently we are facing a worldwide shortage of pilots, and as we move forward, this shortage is only getting larger. With China being at the center of a growing need for air transportation, China's need for pilots has skyrocketed over the past couple of years. As a result, in order to attract foreign pilots into China, many airlines in China are paying very well. Oftentimes, salaries start at $300,000 for first officers and go up to $500,000 for seasoned captains, and on top of this, the entire income is completely tax-free, as in they'll pay for income taxes. Considering that even the biggest players in the aviation industry have quite slim profit margins of about 10%, how are these airlines able to pay about double the salary a standard airline would pay and still make money? Well, as you would expect, the answer is that most of them don't make money. In the last quarter of 2018, only 6 out of the top 20 Asian airlines were able to turn over a profit. But this is not due to a lack of demand. The demand for air travel is at an all-time high and exponentially growing moving forward. Despite this increased demand, airfares have fallen flat and continue to decrease as more competition moves in. So why are Chinese airlines facing this problem? Well, starting off, Chinese airlines are competing in an oversaturated market. China has 8 major airlines and 34 minor airlines, of which 12 opened up in the past 6 years. To put this in perspective, the US only has 13 passenger airlines in total that classify as minor or major airlines. Whether the demand matches up or not, the sheer number of airlines is prone to start a bidding war to the bottom, and that is exactly what we have seen. Despite increased fuel prices, despite increased demand, and despite increased pilot pay, over the past couple of years, Chinese airfares have continued to drop. This is because all the new minor airlines are willing to lose money the first decade or so in operation to carve out a portion of market share. When there are 8 dominant airlines in a region, the only way for minor airlines to stand out and attract customers is to undercut the competition. As several minor airlines constantly fight each other for lower fares, the major airlines are forced to follow and give up their profit or risk giving up a big portion of their customers to minor airlines' rapidly expanding fleets. So, larger Chinese airlines not only have to sell their tickets for very low profit or even at a loss to compete with minor airlines, but they also have to constantly increase their pilots' salaries to keep their pilots as well as attract new pilots. And this is the problem we are seeing right now. Constantly increasing expenses and constantly decreasing profit despite constantly increasing revenue from the increased traffic. Furthermore, this issue doesn't seem to be slowing anytime soon, as analysts estimate that China will need between 4,000 and 5,000 new airline pilots every year for the next 2 decades. Despite all of these issues in the Chinese market, 6 airlines did work around the problem and still managed to profit. So how did they do it? Well, it's not higher ticket prices, as one of the profitable airlines was AirAsia, a budget airline leading the path in reducing ticket prices. Oftentimes, budget carriers in America make their money from selling amenities and not the ticket itself. For instance, they might charge hefty fees for baggage, seat selection, food, and even checking you in at the airport. But for AirAsia, even all of these are not enough to make up for the steeply discounted flight tickets, and they would be lucky to simply break even. See, the secret lies in their secondary business of leasing and selling airplanes. While this is not their main business, this is their main profit source. In late 2016, AirAsia was Airbus's second biggest customer, only beaten by Indigo. In fact, they had a total of 575 planes to their name, with 401, the vast majority, still not being delivered. With so many planes on order, AirAsia has significant negotiating powers with Airbus. And not only that, but they are also stalling the line for other airlines to place Airbus orders. As AirAsia is already one of the leaders in the Chinese aviation industry, they aren't very concerned about growing their network right now, but rather getting out of the huge negative cash flow ditch that they have dug themselves into. So, as they receive these deliveries from Airbus, they don't add a new route. Instead, they replace one of their old planes with a new plane and lease out the old plane to up-and-coming airlines. These airlines are already losing money and can't come up with the capital to buy their own airplane, so they turn to leasing. Thanks to AirAsia's huge order quantity from Airbus, they're able to lease out their old planes for cheaper than official leasing companies like GE Capital Aviation Services. At the beginning, when AirAsia started using this business model, they were able to increase their profit after tax by 187% in just one quarter. And it's not just AirAsia, this seems to be the general trend throughout Chinese airlines. Most Chinese leasing companies only became involved in the market within the last 3 to 5 years, but within this time, they were able to grow to control 15% of the world's leased aircrafts. So, this is where the select Chinese airlines that are profitable make a profit while selling tickets for under market value and paying pilots double the standard income. And airlines that aren't able to jump onto this business model or diversify their income in other ways, well, they won't last very long as they compete in the cutthroat Asian market. But that's just what I think. If you guys thought this video explained the Chinese air industry well and would like to help more people see this video, then make sure to drop a like. And make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more questions just like this one answered logically. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.